The producers and distributors of Tech AV technical training aids welcome you to this program in the series Compressed Air Systems. This is Module 4, in which we will be looking at the function, operation and maintenance of air treatment devices that are most commonly used in industrial applications. Let us begin as we overview the need for air treatment and look at some of the devices used to perform this. First, we need to ask the question, what is meant by air treatment and why is it necessary? In Module 1 of this series, we explained that the atmosphere surrounding all industrial plants, including the compressors operating within them, contains dust and moisture. We also explained that, ideally, we must prevent these elements from reaching the working units and causing damage. In most industrial compressed air systems, you will find two categories of air treatment devices, namely primary air treatment devices and secondary air treatment devices. Let us look at primary air treatment. The term primary air treatment refers to the removal of contaminants before the compressed air enters the air main. Air treatment actually begins with the compressor's air filter. The main purpose of the air filter is to help remove the dust and dirt that is in the atmosphere. Air filters, however, cannot remove or trap every particle of dust. An air filter cannot prevent water vapor from entering a system. During the compression phase, some of the moisture in the air is effectively squeezed out of the air as the pressure increases. This released moisture settles inside the receiver and in the pipework in the form of water droplets. This process is known as condensation. The water that settles inside a tank or in a drop leg can be drained off, as you saw in earlier modules, either manually or through an automatic drain valve. In the case of wet screw rotary compressors, there is an added problem, namely that of oil being carried over with the air. Although most of the oil remains in the compressor after separation in the air-oil separator, a small amount of oil in the form of oil mist will be present in the airstream. The air within the receiver and the air pipes may now contain a mixture of water vapor and oil vapor. There are two ways to deal with these. First, the air needs to be cooled, as this will cause the moisture to condense. The cooling of compressed air can be done in an aftercooler, normally positioned directly after the compressor. A popular aftercooler is an air-cooled device consisting of a heat exchanger and a fan. In the case of most wet screw compressors, this is built into the compressor unit assembly. Some systems will include a chiller unit, also called a refrigerated dryer. Compressed air flowing through this unit is cooled down to around 2 or 3 degrees, causing any moisture in the air to rapidly condense. Upon leaving aftercoolers and chiller units, the air will contain plenty of water and oil droplets. In order to trap these substances, the air must be passed through either moisture traps or separators. Both units are similar in appearance. Moisture traps remove only water from the airstream, whereas separators perform the dual function of trapping water and oil droplets, owing to the inclusion of a filter element within them. Separators, as seen here, can become clogged with residues and usually require regular cleaning. Several separators may be fitted into a line, depending on the degree of filtration required by the plant. From here on, the air will enter the air main and be distributed throughout the plant. To recap, we have seen that primary air treatment can comprise the compressor's air filter to remove the solid airborne particles from the atmosphere, an aftercooler to force cooling of the air and the condensation of water vapor held within the airstream, the receiver itself, in which further condensation takes place, In some cases, a refrigerated dryer to drop the air temperature radically, thus forcing further condensation of water and oil vapors. Moisture traps and separators are necessary to remove or trap water and oil droplets after cooling has been effected. In this section, we shall overview typical secondary air treatment systems and devices. Secondary air treatment is the term used to describe the treatment of air at the point of application, and for this reason, you will find that most secondary devices are close to the user point. The most common devices, and the ones we shall concentrate on, include moisture traps and filters, pressure regulators, and lubricators. Moisture traps are basically the same as separators in that their purpose is to cause any liquids and solids to become trapped, thereby preventing them from entering a working device. Moisture traps usually contain a small particulate filter element within them. Regulators control and stabilize the working air pressure to certain working units. The pressure can be set to any desired pressure below that of the mains pressure. Lubricators provide a small but steady supply of lubricating oil into the airstream in order to lubricate motorized air tools and actuators. Lubricators are required only where the working device has to be lubricated. You would not need a lubricator on a general-purpose airline. When the three devices are all linked into one modular assembly, we call this an air service unit. In summary, the secondary treatment of compressed air is needed for the protection of the working units and the control of air supplied.